at the mosquitoes. I want to be in my cabin today or work on it, but they're all over it. I hate that. I was so proud of myself. I got that piece of plywood up on the wall by myself, and that was a struggle. I hung my mural up and stepped back to admire my work. And I've got a waterfall that flows to the sky. Let's flip that around. That's better. That's pretty cool. I've got 3 different ones. One's a mandala, however you pronounce it. It didn't match. It didn't go in here. The other is a scene of the blue layers of mountains. And then this one, of course. I like the mountains, I think, the most. And then this one. I probably just, what I'll do is I'll just alternate between them. I don't like how that goes down below onto the metal, but I can fold at the top probably and move it up a little bit. Now this, I totally didn't film putting this up, but this right here it's a piece of plywood. Here, let me take this down. It's a piece of plywood that, strangely enough, God just like gave me. And I say that, and I mean it. We had a tornado pass through here, and fortunately it lifted enough that it didn't do any damage in our house, but it dropped a bunch of stuff here. And this was one of the things that we found out here. So it was actually in the road, not in my yard. It was in the road, but we picked it up. And it was off somebody's roof. It had a lot of roofing tacks on it. I don't know if it was on a house or a shed because it's a very thin piece of plywood. It's not, it's just not thick at all to me to be on a roof. But it may have been. I don't know. I mean, a roof of a house. I would have thought it would needed to be like 3/4 inch or something. Could have been on somebody's shed. A lot of nails in it. I pulled them all out. I was going to paint it because I thought it was ugly out in the sun, but actually with it in here, I kind of like this mottled look to it. Now, I do know that this is from probably the tar paper, from probably having it on there for years and years, but I like the look that it gave. It's kind of pretty cool. Almost looks like strips of lumber. So I'm gonna leave it like that. It's got issues. I've got this chunk missing out of it, but I'm okay with that. I'm gonna end up trimming up here anyway, and I'll just cover over that the best I can, or slip something in behind it, maybe right here. I don't know. I'll figure that out. It's got obviously holes in it from, there's some roof, a piece of shingle, holes in it from all the nails, and there's some splintered stuff sticking out a little bit. I'm not going to be up against the wall, and my mural or whatever, my little tapestry is going to be hanging over it anyway. So I'm just going to leave it like that with my mural over it. So I'll end up, like I said, trimming across the top, and then I'll just trim down here too. But I can't do that until I end up getting that other insulation, because I've just changed my mind on this cardboard. I know that insects like it, and that's just gonna like invite them in. That was a booger to get that thing up on the wall and screwed in by myself. That was hard, but I did get it. I got it done. I find a way every time. Oh, here's something else I did today. I added a deer horn as my, I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way, get this out in sunlight. A deer horn as my door handle. I thought it turned out pretty cool, and it's fairly sturdy. Honestly, shouldn't be a whole lot of pulling on this. It's basically me pushing it open, because with it even back here in the corner, and it wants to stay, to close it, I mean, all I've got to do is just pull it a little bit, and the way this cabin's leaning, apparently, it closes very well. I like it. Well, I came up with some some interesting insulation that I had found. It was partially wet, and in trying to drag it out from its location, it ended up ripping into strips. I brought it home, I laid it out in the sun and let it dry. It does not look great. I may end up having to go buy some, but I do have it dry for the most part. That just felt that was damp. But the paper on a lot of this has come off of it, separated. So me being the, I would say cheap, but not necessarily cheap, but frugal or thrifty. Oops, there goes my phone. Alright, so what I was saying before I got that phone call is me being the cheap or frugal, thrifty kind of person I am. I'm trying to make do with this stuff here, which is probably not a good idea. I ought to just take my cheap ass down to the hardware store and buy some insulation, but I just can't. I can't see. Oh, look. Whoop. That was a skink. That's what Dottie's after. Anyway, I can't see paying. I'm trying to keep this building cheap. I don't have money. But anyway, so what I've done, the strips, as long as they stay together, as long as the ones with the paper still attached, I can staple that in there and make that work. But the pieces that the paper has come off, like that over there, I got this bright idea, and I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I had this paper that, this is just brown paper that people put in packaging, like Amazon packages. It's just a bunch of wadded up. I smoothed it out and I rolled it up and kept it. I was going to use it for fire starting, but I had this. I have some spray adhesive, and I took those strips and I sprayed that paper with the glue and laid the strips on it as best I can. I hope it's going to stick to it when I pick it up. I'm just going to let it sit here and dry really well. Then I should be able to take those strips. I'm hoping that this paper will act like the paper that was originally on it, and I'm able to put it up that way. Now, this won't cover the remaining areas that I need to cover, but it'll get me farther down the line. We'll just see how it goes. Anyway, the mosquitoes are really bad down here. I had to go back to the house, and I got a couple of these citronella torch things. When I come down here, I've noticed that the mosquitoes have just been, they just get right up in here. It's just like hundreds of them right up in this, and they've been hanging out up there. Now you see some up there now. That's in a spider web, and then there's others. Anyway, I've just got these burning, trying to keep the mosquitoes off. This is the time of year I was expecting. This is probably going to stop my cabin work, is right now, because of the mosquitoes getting bad. Because I mean, it's just, I live in mosquito country. But anyway, I'm gonna get down here and I'm gonna let that dry real well, and then go put that in the places that it needs it, and see if I can at least get a little more done before it gets just too bad out here. Doing what I can, but I've got some other things that need my attention that I'm just going to have to put this aside for now anyway, as soon as I get this done. Really, this project, in all honesty, is not just because I wanted a cabin in the woods, but I needed something to get my mind off the situation with my parents. It's really hard watching your parents go down. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make a blubber video, but it's just reality of it. Yeah, having this cabin, even though it's been rough building it, it has kept my mind. It gets my mind off of what's going on with them and their demise. So I enjoy this part of it, even though like I've complained about this step and that step. But Anyway, I'm at a point that maybe with the mosquitoes and stuff, it's got me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I've got to go. I can't. I've just got to go. There's my pretty Dottie. I don't know how much you can see because it's kind of dark up in here, but what I had glued to the paper backing, I cut that short. Actually works really well. It sticks great. And here's some of that other that it still had some of the paper still stuck to it, and I just, anyway, but it was, this is the part that had gotten wet. It's completely dry now, so I don't have to worry about mold or anything. But that worked pretty good. This looks terrible though. Oh well, you know, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. I already did some behind this. You can barely see where, that's where I started putting the paper on it that I glued. That's just hopefully gonna hang around. If not, these boards are actually easy to pull off the wall. They got just finishing nails holding them in. I got a piece in here. Don't have a whole lot more left. I might be able to finish this here. I haven't done anything behind here, the upper part, and I've still got that wall and behind here. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do something different here, and I don't need insulation there. I think I'll put a window on there. Lord have mercy. I'm making it work. Oh. Well, I'm calling it quits for today. Oh, by the way, I installed some hooks for my hammock. With it up that high, I can make this kind of into a chair like this, or I can raise that side up and lower the other and make it into like where I can sleep in it. Anyway, I'm throwing in the towel. The mosquitoes are just really, really bad, and I knew this day was coming, but I can't take any more. Anyway, what I did get done was I got all of this covered in insulation. It's not the, oh, you can't even see that. Well, anyway, I got it back behind the door as well. This wall that's back here on this side, I mean this, yeah, the front wall, the side wall, I finished up this with insulation and got the boards put up there, finished that out, and insulated here. I didn't finish getting the boards up here. I'll do that next time. I gotta come up with something for that wall. Oh yes, and behind the upper part behind this board, that piece right there. I may just buy one sheet of that foam insulation. I think I can cut it down and make it fit that and probably that piece here. All right, I've got to get to the house, so the mosquitoes are tearing me up. Oh, maybe we'll have some more cooler days where I can get back out here and do a lot. All right, see you on the next. Oh look, this is something I found years ago. I can't even remember where I found it, but it's so cool. Obviously it's not usable, it's got holes in the bottom, but it's so cute. I'm not exactly sure what I'll do with it down here, but I will totally use it somehow. Probably decoration. I don't know. It's so cute. Alrighty, listen to my squeak. I love it. The door squeaks. I like a squeaky door. Okay, see you later.